Here's a BSA A65 that I'm working on, and quite recently I did the before ride on it, where I went up the Black Mountain and just over the other side and then back home just to check it out as it was, how it arrived here, and then to sort of consider what I may want or need to do to it. And one of the things I picked up on was that although it was quite willing and torquey and had good sort of off the mark performance, it seemed to run out of puff a little bit earlier than I would have expected, especially as it's a 750 converted one as well. And I suspected that the throttles perhaps weren't opening fully, and I've just confirmed that, and we're hopefully going to see it here. That's the full movement at the twist grip. Now we can hear the throttle slides clicking shut when I shut the throttle, but there's no click to tell us that the throttle slides are topping out or hitting the tops of the carburetors when the throttle's open fully. So if I put the camera down here, we'll see what's happening. I know what it's doing. We're not getting enough throttle. When I open the throttle fully at the handlebar, which is there, I can grab the throttle cable and pull it that much extra travel, and the same on the other side. The camera probably won't pick that up, but I'd say both these throttles probably aren't opening as much as 3/4. Now I've already checked, and when I've got the throttle to the stop there's no extra movement in this single cable, but there is at the other side where it splits into two. So I think what's happening is this single cable in here is travelling to its max and topping out in there before the throttle slides are fully lifted. So somehow I've got to try and get some extra movement. Now I needn't worry about the twist grip, the problem's not up there, it's in this junction box here, and somehow, like I say, I've got to get those two cables, get some extra movement in those in order to pick the slides all the way up. So that's what I'm going to be looking at next, but never overlook the obvious, and I've seen this a lot on Royal Enfield's Indian ones, especially when perhaps they've been converted to take an AML carburetor where the movement of the throttle slide might be further than the original MyCarb Indian carburetors, and people fit carburetors like this to their Indian bullets and then still don't get the full performance out of them because the throttle slides aren't pulling all the way up to the top. And it's easy to do, especially with one of these with a screw and lock nut adjuster. I could screw that up so that the throttle would stay put and open it fully, and then come to the cable, and if you can grab the cable and pull it up any extra when the twist grip is to its stop, you know that you're not getting the full range of throttle movement. So that's what I'm going to be looking at on this BSA now, and like I say, it's also 750, and it just although it went well off the mark, it just didn't seem to have the extra bit of urge you'd expect, and that will probably be the answer. So I'm going to look into that next and see if I can sort that out. Right, here we are with just a quick footnote to my last clip about this BSA A65 and the throttle and throttle cable issues. I've now got it sorted, and I've got the throttle opening fully, and I can hear the throttle slides topping out. They're opening all the way now and closing together. There's only one click, not staggered clicks, so got them nicely synchronized. But what I've had to do is I wound the adjusters on the top of the carburetors pretty much right out bar a couple of threads to compensate for the lack of movement that we were getting in these two cables where they come out from the splitter there. And then I've had to back off the adjustment on the single cable to allow the mechanism, the plunger if you like, in there to drop further back. Screwed up there to take the slack, and now I'm opening the throttle, and where these were screwed right down before, all those threads that we can see there on the adjuster amount to the extra throttle movement at the slides that we're now getting. So we'll be getting full throttle on this now, and I'm pretty sure that we'll notice one heck of a difference once it's running again, and we give it a bit of stick there. So that worked out nicely, but it just goes to show, and there must be quite a lot of bikes around that I'm sure probably aren't reaching their full potential just because of little things like that that often get overlooked. But this one's set up as it should be now, at least, so that's the result.